Oi, Brasil! Olha, meu povo, se preparem porque a temperatura vai subir. O filme After, Depois do Desencontro, estreia nessa quinta, dia 2 nos cinemas. É claro que nossa equipe não ia deixar de bater um papinho com os protagonistas, não é mesmo? Sim, falamos com os maravilhosos Hero Fiennes e Josephine Langford, e também com a diretora da produção, a Castile Landon. Os atores contaram pra gente como foi gravar as cenas de pegação, que estão mais calientes do que nunca, e revelaram qual foi a cena mais desafiadora de filmar. Ainda explicaram como que a relação do Harding da Tessa foi retratada dessa vez nas telonas e especularam sobre a reação do público sobre a história. Se você já leu os livros, sabe que tem plot twist vindo por aí, né? Tô prevendo babado, confusão e muitos amassos, meus queridos! Então dá só uma olhada no nosso bate-papo com os astros de After.
You've been gushing about Seattle since the day I first met you. If he loves you, he could follow you. I was hoping that we would move to London after graduation.
And how was I supposed to know that? Only in those rare moments when he pulls me to his chest and makes promises he never seems able to keep, does the pain disappear.
I'm super excited to watch the movie, guys. And by the trailer, we can see that this new film is gonna explore a lot of emotional aspects that impact the characters very deeply. And it also seems to spice things up a bit more. So there's sex scenes in like the gym and a hot tub. So how was it for you guys to shoot those intimate sequences? Can you point like your favorite one or the most challenging one?
I think now we've had so much practice with the first two, they're just like filming any other scene. But the most challenging one was definitely, there's one in a hot tub and it was very, very cold. And the hot tub wasn't even able to be warm because we had to get in and out so much. Apparently it's worse to go from hot to cold. I feel like someone just wanted to watch us suffer. But yeah, so it was lukewarm water and freezing cold air temperature. So that was definitely challenging doing that scene, jumping in and out, and yeah, it was very cold.
So were there any like COVID protocols? Because rumor has it that the actors had to drink mouthwash after kissing one another. Is that true?
I don't know who decided that that made any sense. It's like if mouthwash killed COVID, Colgate would be bloody successful, wouldn't it? Like, but with a lot of COVID protocols, we had testing 3 times a week, and we had masks and distancing, and we were all quarantined, and we had zones, and yeah, the production went to a lot of effort to try and make it COVID safe.
Cool. So a bit of a random question now. But there's a lot of noticeable height difference between you guys, which happens to be something very dear to the fans. Did that ever like cause any difficulties or fun moments, I don't know, when shooting?
I don't think we actually do have a massive, I don't think the height difference is that like.
They put you on an Apple box quite a lot, to be fair.
A lot, most people aren't the same height when they're doing.
Yeah. I think it's just enough for the fans to like it, but not too much that it gets impractical or in the way of anything.
Great.
Well, it's funny. I think in all films, people are always using camera trickery to play with people's height, and yeah, there's ways to work around that.
Awesome. So guys, after reading the books, like some people pointed out traits of Harding and Tessa's relationship that can be like considered abusive, and the writer herself has also admitted that. But in the movies though, especially the second one, this aspect is way more subtle. So how do you guys see that portrayed on screen, and how do you think like the third movie is going to approach that topic?
Well, I think there are a lot of problematic aspects to their relationship with emotional mainly, and I think we try to approach that in a way that's similar to the books in the third movie, and that's kind of what the story is about, and hopefully it's something that people can learn from watching it as an audience.
So back to the books, like this part of the story follows Harding as he deals with life-changing revelation. So to the people who read them, they're already familiar with the plot twist, but how do you guys think the general public will react to that?
I think it's a really good. I like it. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how they react. I don't know, but I hopefully it's shock initially, and then I guess the same emotions the character who experiences the revelation feels. But yeah, it's hard to say without saying. It's also fun to have the fans who do know and they get to see how we portrayed it, and the fans who don't know, it's completely new to them. So it's nice to have the two different audiences' reactions to anticipate.
Awesome. So now a question for you, Joe. So the last movie ends up with Tessa having like this crazy encounter with her dad, and she also has to reconcile like her relationship with the new job. How are all these things going to affect Tessa?
Yeah, she's going through a lot at the moment. And I think in the third movie, we can really see it building. She goes to Seattle, and there's this isolation that she is feeling, in this sense of maybe it's not the right place, which I think a lot of people go through. They dream of a spot or of a career or something their whole lives, and then they get there and they go, oh, is this actually what I want? And I think that, coupled with her relationship with Hardin and the struggles there and with her father, I think it just all builds, and she deals with it, I would say, well.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much. That's all the time I have. But before I go, if you can just leave a little kiss to your Brazilian fans who adore you so much.
Everyone in Brazil, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Brazil.
Why can't you just trust me?
I do trust you. You know I trust you.
You don't trust me. You don't trust anyone. You just control them.
So I'm very excited to see the movie, but I want to hear from you. What was it like taking over the direction of a franchise that has such a huge fan base? What did you find to be the most challenging part of it all?
It was really exciting, I think, first of all, to jump into something like this. And I think the best thing was being given so much freedom to like reboot the franchise. I didn't feel like I had to stick with what was already established. I think we kind of got to shake things up and really hone in on what was in the book, at least what I thought was special about the book. So that's a real gift, because there weren't a ton of parameters. The challenges were, there was equally, it was equally challenging in that we filmed it in Bulgaria. So trying to make Bulgaria look like New York and London and Seattle was difficult. And also we shot it during the pandemic. So there was a lot of safety precautions we had to take. And we filmed the whole, 2 movies back to back, all while being completely isolated from friends and family and all of that. So I think that mentally it was quite taxing. But ultimately, I think it turned out for the best, because you can kind of like see the relationship. We all became each other's best friends. And you can see that on screen. So I think everything has its pros and cons.
Amazing. So the previous films were criticized by some people because of the way like they portrayed it, the relationship between Hardin and Tessa, and also female rivalry. So how have you as a woman reflected on these issues to try and make it better this time around?
I didn't really focus on the criticism so much, because to me, there's a whole legion of fans that really believes in the books and loves the books. And that is the essence of the books in a lot of ways, and particularly the toxic relationship. Like, that's what makes it so great, is that it's not just a cookie cutter story of, like a rom-com. Like, that's not what this is. And if that's what you want, fabulous. There's other movies for you. But this is like, what is so appealing about it is that it feels like any relationship that anyone might have. It's like the most frustrating and yet the most passionate. And Anna's books like don't judge you for wanting to indulge in that. And I think that's really special. But we definitely did respond to some problems that fans of the books had. So not like critics of the movies so much, but like some of the fans, a lot of the fans agreed that like in the jacuzzi scene, there were problems in the books, and those books were written in a different time, in a different culture. So I think modernizing the issues and being a little bit more sensitive was really important. And working with Hiro to make sure that everything Hardin does is justified. Like that he can justify it. Because sometimes in the books, I think he's just dark and broody and kind of an asshole, over my language, but like for no real reason. And like, that's fine for him to be, mean or unlikable in certain moments. But like, I think we really needed to ground it in reality. Like, why does he behave this way? And what's the driving force? Because if it's motivated, then I think we can forgive him and we can understand him a little bit more.
Ai, gente, muito fofos, né? E esse sotaque do Hiro, ô meu pai, me chama de Tessa e vem sussurrar no meu ouvido, amado. É isso, gente. Espero que tenham gostado da entrevista. Agora bora se planejar pra ir assistir nos cinemas. Beijos, até a próxima. Não esquece de comentar, compartilhar, botar o sininho, essas coisas todas, etc e tal, e etc e tal. E after, depois dos desencontros, vem o encontro. Ui!
You're my better place, Tess.